So I've spent the last few days trying to figure out a way of making this video without basically everyone in the League of Legends community hating me. And it was really bothering me because no matter how I looked at the script in its first or its second draft, at the end of the day, I was still criticizing people with literally millions more subscribers than I have. People that are basically the golden boys of the community, and people that if I even say one bad word about, the criticism would be cast aside because they are looked upon without fault. They'd say I'm jealous and, well, I might as well dress up as a straw man at this point to fit the part I'm going to be playing in the narrative for some people. But I think in the end, the conclusion that I came to was that I care way more about the future of content creation in this game and the longevity of it than I care about potentially angry fanboys, a torrent of abuse, and potential subtweeting from other creators, I suppose. I'm not going to ask you guys to like this video. I ask so many favors of you all, and I really do love you all for putting up with me for such a long time in the last video that I made a couple days ago, and hearing your voices to post another video. I'm both happy and sad to oblige. The amount of people who ask me to talk about the death of creative League of Legends content and the devolution of it tells me that people kind of already know. People have already noticed, and they just want to hear a hopefully well-constructed timeline of events. And honestly, I don't like drama. It gives me no pleasure at all to make videos ball-blasting Riot about game changes or basically saying, hey, I think this community is kind of shit now, or anything like that. But honestly, over the years, I've noticed that nobody, besides maybe Magikarp's Fly, actually gives a fuck about anything. It genuinely feels like people are just riding the wave instead of trying to push back against it. And that is a quality that I so respect. It actually shows that people care. It shows love. I don't make videos shitting on Riot for the sake of it. I'm risking essentially my career by pointing out issues that I find. I make them because there's a change that I want to see, and if the community supports that video, you can consider that a couple tens of thousand people in support of that thing. But anyway, I hope you guys can understand that this is probably going to be a far longer video. There's quite literally 3 years of ground to cover here, filled with spicy drama here and there, and I don't want to rush anything. So 2015 was an interesting year for comedy content in League of Legends. It was simultaneously the best year of content for a lot of people in the community and the possible worst year because of what would follow. If you want to know how significant 2015 a year is, seriously, go to any creator that you like that makes League of Legends videos, and let's have a look. Some of what I'd consider my best videos were created in 2015. The bulk of the Why I Hate series was made during this time. Alongside that, Magikarp's Fly was doing his actual champion spotlights, and he blew up that year. It did fantastically. Some of his most viewed videos are from 2015. Frost Prime had How OP They Used to Be alongside this in 2015. Another fantastic series. Darkmane was really starting to get a lot of traction here as well with his glorious guides. The bulk of Bricky's So You Want a Main series was in 2015. Uber Danger posted one of his greatest videos of all time, and a shitpost that took half an hour to make that blew up beyond all expectation. Kiori was still putting out multiple videos weekly, pulling in close to 1 million views per video, and Sky Williams was at least trying back in 2015 as opposed to recording a reaction to Aurelia in vertical mode on your phone. Fucking what? I mean, I've pretty much just covered the Carp crew here, but I could go on and on. But the point I'm trying to make is 2015 was, in my opinion, one of the best years for League of Legends in general. It was just kind of past that point of content where everybody's editing wasn't completely shit and just before everybody stopped trying anymore. It was a magical place, and honestly, if you go check out any of the bigger boys during this time, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find them having not posted a banger during 2015. But it was a weird environment. Everybody spoke to everybody. There was this immense amount of friendly competition between every content creator. Like a cinematic would come out from Riot, and literally half a dozen people would rush to create their funniest edit of it, and it was insanity. But it was quite possibly the best environment for creators to be in. People were pushing each other harder to be better, pushing them in a if you don't do this now I will kind of way, and it was really incredible. And it was, even though everybody was kind of competing, there was a friendly competition about it. Back then you didn't really see any of the pro players on YouTube. They had Twitch and we had YouTube, and typically their content would do pretty well on the platform, but they didn't have the ability to upload as often as everyone else, meaning that for the large part, the majority of the content on the platform was fun, silly content that was meant to be different. Skits did really well, edits, montages, things that couldn't be made with a stream. Regardless of how League progresses over the next few years, I am so proud to have been a small part of the community that came about during this time. It was truly the golden age of League of Legends, not just for comedy, but I think for just content in general. But all good things must come to an end, and everything was just building up to the perfect storm. You might think that it's kind of difficult to believe that it's actually possible to pinpoint the exact day when an entire community of creators died, but funnily enough, it is probably one of the most prolific videos in the League of Legends community, and it marks a day when everything came crashing down for an entire part of the community.
I'm done making League of Legends videos. I'm sorry to my fans that only watch my League videos, but please, go watch my other videos. I put so much work into them, and they're honestly way better.
September 12th, 2015 is the day in my eyes that this world stopped. Easily the biggest creator for the game had been pushed to the point that he felt no longer welcome in the game, and he decided to move on. At the time, personally, I was happy for him. I had always enjoyed Donkey's videos that weren't League of Legends far more, and I still do. A Donkey video is an instant click for me, and I'm so very happy that he's still succeeding as a creator after dropping the game that got him started. Shortly after that though, other creators began to follow suit, making their exits, whilst many sort of decided that within the next 6 months or so, they would quietly disappear into the background. Most notably, I feel, were Kiori's departure from League of Legends around this time too. You can make memes all you want, really, but he was still one of the biggest creators, and he is also a comedy channel too. Two of the biggest channels on the platform, both comedy, just stopped making videos for the game within the space of a few months. And it really seems like alongside those two people leaving, people's love for that kind of content went with it. Now, over the next year, something in the YouTube algorithm would change that would inadvertently change the way content was consumed, not just in League of Legends, but on the entire website as a whole. That change is the same reason that your Logan Paul and your Jake Pauls exist, the reason that Viners blew up out of nowhere, and in League of Legends, it is the reason that you cannot escape stream highlight videos and live stream fail compilations. So, I don't really know when this happened, but it is very much a thing. I have been to YouTube meets with YouTube employees, and they have confirmed this because they're the ones that explained it to me in the first place. So I'll try and explain this as quickly and as simply as possible. I make videos on YouTube, but I barely stream on Twitch. YouTube gives me a currency called watch time for every second you watch a video like this one. Now, I'm a Cutie Pie is a Twitch streamer who also makes videos on YouTube. If you were to watch Cutie Pie stream, and then he says, "Hey guys, I just posted a new video," and you were to click a link on Twitch to come to YouTube, then watch one of Cutie's videos, and then 3 of mine, because he sent you from a different website, he would get the currency of watch time for his video, but also the 3 that I just made and that you just watched. So even if 75% of the videos that you just watched after clicking on Cutie Pie's link wasn't his videos, he gets what is called cumulative watch time from YouTube. Now, this is meant to encourage you to promote the website through other social medias like Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, but all it has really done is create a really bizarre way to abuse the system by people like Vine stars and inadvertently streamers on Twitch. And the fact of the matter is that you could find me on your homepage and love a video and click subscribe, but you're not weighed as heavily for doing that as someone who clicked a link on my Twitch chat and then clicked subscribe. Now, originally this part of the script was like over 1,000 words, and I really tried to cut it down to the bare bones, so I'm sorry if it's all over the place, but what this change in the algorithm essentially meant was that it gave rise to an era of content that entirely favoured 3 things: insanity levels of clickbait, straight up gameplay with no real major editing, and for the most part, a high level of play. You see, ever since Donkey and Kiori left League, I have sat for the last 2 years watching the focus of League of Legends shift. It has shifted from a video game that you play with your friends and have fun and have good times with, to a try-hard competitive sport that you rip your fucking hair out at, you get upset at, and the only enjoyment you basically ever get from the game is from winning LP. I have sat in a Riot office boardroom and listened to them talk about how they want League of Legends to be like American football. They want League of Legends to be a pastime. They want people to teach their kids how to play the game, and they want it to be a game that is enjoyed from generation to generation. I fucking shit you not. This is almost word for word the things that they were saying to me. And does that not sound so deeply insane and depressing to you? And you can see it entirely from just the change in direction that the client went. Nikasaur's Summoner Showcase? Nah, get that the fuck out of here. Content Creator Spotlights? Nah, no fucking way. LCS, baby. Only LCS. 100 years LCS. Let's go. Who the fuck are these guys? Who even cares? Which Asian team is gonna win Worlds, baby? Let's go. It is absolutely hilarious how much Riot Games favor any random LCS player over half the creators who actually made their game remotely popular to begin with, like Kiori or Donkey. And what even is LCS? 40 minutes of people pussyfooting around doing absolutely fucking nothing until eventually one team fight happens and the game is over? Like, look at this fucking shit. Samsung Galaxy versus SKT. Game 1 of the Grand Finals of the League of Legends World Championships 2017. This is one of the games that will determine who will be crowned the best team in the world. Who knows how it's gonna go? The electricity is in the room. You can feel the atmosphere rising as it is 23 minutes into the game and there isn't even a single fucking kill yet. Okay, how about 3 years previously? EU LCS Summer Split 2014. We got Copenhagen Wolves versus Superhot Crew. And the crowd are literally cheering when wards are being killed.
Through jungle, and Wax gonna clear himself out a ward on that bottom side. Ward killed him, but also kind of being a problem for him.
Okay, never mind. Rocket Gaming versus Gambit. EU LCS, Wembley Arena, one of the biggest venues in the UK. Truly the pinnacle of entertainment. 11 kills at 43 minutes and some random guy from the crowd literally screams at the teams because of how bored he is.
Impressive in itself. We'll see how this works out. Again, Vision.
I'm not being funny here, but this shit is fucking worse than mundane. This shit is worse than boring. It is absolutely mindfuck, blow your brains out terrible, and the only reason you would ever actually go to a live event like this would be for the atmosphere, the people that you can meet, the energy of being around people who like the same thing as you. The last fucking thing I would ever go to an LCS event for would be to actually watch these tragic, slow as fuck, hour-long slogs of monotony. And I'm really sorry if you liked LCS, but that's really all it is. And this is the shit that Riot are pushing down everyone's throat. This is the focus Riot has on the game, what they think people want and what they think people want to see. And they want you to think that it could be you on the stage. They don't give a shit about if the game is fun or not for you. They don't care that the game is fun enough for you to actually want your kids to play it with you. You know, like another actual sport. They want you to get addicted to the grind of ranked so that you put hours in and hours in, spending more of your time, more of your money, and dedicating years of your life to the pipe dream that maybe you actually could play at this bullshit professional level where nothing happens. Now let me ask you a question, and I'm assuming that a lot of the people that come to this video probably don't watch a lot of my other videos. Which would you personally rather watch in a purely entertainment aspect? If you didn't know the teams that were playing in an LCS match, and you just had to watch a random game from a playlist. This is assuming you don't have a favorite LCS team. Let's say your favorite LCS team isn't playing, but you just wanted to watch a game, okay? 60-minute random LCS game number 1, or a Bronze 5 game where there are 116 kills in 37 minutes that I made. Now, if you genuinely actually think that the LCS game would be more entertaining to watch, then there's quite literally no help for you. And you guys know that Riot give LCS players Smurfs and unlocked accounts too, right? Like, if you're on an LCS team or anything like that, regardless of how popular you are or how often you fail to actually achieve anything, regardless of what region you go to, NA, EU, or if you bootcamp in Korea, you get an unlocked account with every champion minimum. And if you need Smurfs, you're pretty much sorted as well. However, if you're a small creator let's say Kiori with like 1 million subscribers almost, with maybe just over 250 million views on just League of Legends videos alone. You know, all you've done is dedicate multiple years of your life to entertaining and maintaining not only his own viewer base, but Riot's player base. You don't get one. No, you're denied that request, that your Smurf be leveled up from 26 to 30. 4 levels is way too much. We can't level that up. You don't get any champions either. You're not allowed to have any champions to make more videos on the game because you've moved to America. You're not allowed. No, we're not going to give you anything to help you out here. You got to spend that money yourself. And I know that sounds really incredibly entitled for me to be annoyed at that, but I mean, fucking really? He just wanted to keep his account EU so that he could play with his EUS friends and occasionally myself when he wanted to, but also have an NA account to continue making videos for the game smoothly. But that was somehow valued lower than random Team X, Y, or Z who failed to get out of groups every single year. So LCS is being shoved down your throats daily, and you're being encouraged to watch the eternal struggle of which Korean team is going to win this year after an hour and a half of turtling and trying to kill Baron. But what kind of content are you expected to watch? Well, it's no real surprise really, the market for content is shifted too. And it's only really natural that with Riot pushing this agenda so hard, that the people who are going to conform to that vision the most are the streamers turned YouTubers who are actually at a high level of play. And I'm not going to bother throwing shade on anyone here because I actually like watching some of the streams. I'm friends with a couple of them here and there. And of course, they're just hustling. They're just doing what they want. They're doing their thing. And they are working hard as I am. But when you do boil it down to its core parts, it's very much, more often than not, the same shit with a different face. One thing I liked about YouTube was it was, you know, you. I'd edit all my videos, I'll do all the graphics and all the work behind it, write the script, pull it all together, and then you got to see a product that was 100% my own creation. Now, all you're really watching 99% of the time is just a cut and paste streamer whose only real personality is for the most part thrown into the video by their editor. Everything has become so clinical and mass produced that you could watch one stream highlight video and then someone else completely, like someone completely different on another side of the world, and you'd wonder if they hired the same editor. And it sounds like I'm being really harsh here, but it's the videos that make it seem this way. I know for a fact that these streamers have great personalities and they're really interesting characters, but holy shit, some of them do come up with very interesting ways of saying, let's play League of Legends Ranked episode 192. And my god, do they look like that as well. They just all look the same. They're all edited the same. Everything is the same. And you know, that's fine. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for liking that content, because it is objectively good content. It's safe, it's easy to consume, and there is a lot of it. I just think that it's a deep shame that this massive shift in focus that is of no fault to any of you guys, it's no fault to any of the streamers, apparently had to come at a price, and that price being a community that I really cared about. And I'm no angel in this at all, by the way. Let's talk about me. I ended up on the daily grind. I made gameplay videos every single day. I was doing my damnedest to clickbait as hard as I could, just to compete, just to fight against irrelevancy, and of course my content suffered for it. I suffered from it, despite the fact that I would try and stream and I'd try and post videos every single day. I was always, and have always been, a one-man show. I do everything on the channel. I always have, and I probably always will. I tried getting an editor for like a week, and I just couldn't enjoy it. And it's something that people ask me how I can do, how you can post a video every single day, that you edit and do all this shit yourself, whilst also trying to do this and that. And the fact of the matter is, I fucking can't. For a very long time, I was like breaking down into tears daily. I was incredibly stressed over the numbers. I was obsessed over the numbers, and I was so very scared that I was going to disappear and nobody was going to remember me. And I just kept fighting. And I think during this period of time, I did actually make some really great videos. I made Beast Mode Bard, Beast Mode Earth, and stuff like that, but nobody watched it and nobody cared. People didn't like things that were new or weird, so I conformed to what I thought was meant to happen. I posted stream highlight videos, I made clickbait content, I did PBE stuff, and to be honest, with a lot of these things, I really tried to put a little bit of my own spin on it, that I personally really liked, and if I ever did make those kind of videos again, I think would still stand out to me from a lot of other content. But honestly, to what end? I was trying to be the same and trying to be different at the same time, and it just didn't work. For real, a lot of you guys probably don't watch my other non-league content that I've been posting, and that's entirely understandable, but I just have to tell you how liberating it has been, how very free I feel not having to worry about making a unique idea on a game that's pushing 8 years old, pushing 9 years old. How free it feels not being confined to one camera angle and one set of characters and trying to build a champion in a way that's never been done before. I used to be so fucking numb to YouTube up until recently. It was becoming so much of a job to me, and I just wanted to be part of your guys' day. That was it. I just wanted to be part of your day. You come home from work, you just throw on a video and you just chill. But that was pretty much at the expense of my own mental health. But now the numbness is fading, and I can kind of feel that love that I actually had for making stupid videos returning, as I do anything I want and making league videos when I want and how I want and just making fucking whatever I want. It is so fucking liberating. But it doesn't stop the fact that in the past there was something very fucking wrong with me, very fucking wrong with the way I made content, and how some of my videos back in the past were just piling onto the heap of shit that was League of Legends content. I knew that something had changed in the league scene back then, and I felt like I was going fucking crazy that nobody else was saying anything about it, and that if I was the one to say something, that I'd get slapped down hard. And it's 2 years later, and I'm only just actually coming out about this, and I'm still scared I'm gonna get slapped down hard, but at this point, I feel like I don't really have that much to lose, so here we fucking are. It sent me for a loop back then, to the point that someone from my city sent me an email, because they felt something was off about me. I got an email from a subscriber who said that I wasn't acting myself in my videos, and he ran a board game store in my city to come and chat and hang out and play some board games. And I ended up going to the store. I stood outside the window looking in at a bunch of people who were playing board games and playing card games, and my anxiety got really bad, and I ended up just staring in this window for a moment until someone noticed me looking in, and I immediately just turned around and went home. And that just seems like such a perfect analogy for how I felt about the league scene. For the last 2 years, I have felt like an outsider looking in. You know, I'm not good enough a player for any of the pros to acknowledge. I was never as funny as Donkey or Kiori to be considered one of the better comedy channels. I'm just me, looking in a store window at all the people who love the same thing as me, but still feeling like somehow we're worlds apart. Now, as I type the sentence that's being read out, I'm now approaching 3,500 words into this script, and I'm sure at this point, this video is easily over 20 minutes long, so I'm just going to do my best to wrap things up here, because I have just overloaded you with so much information and so many different things, it's hard to even give a good conclusion. And for that, I'm really sorry. I basically just vomited my heart into a YouTube video, and despite the fact that this is all scripted, there is no way that something this emotional could ever be constructed or structured in a way that would make any real sense for me or you. But to end this video, I want to just show you one final thing, and I'm not going to say anything more about it. If you want to see what League of Legends as a company has done to its creators, I think the perfect example is probably SevHD. Now, Sev is someone who is probably considered one of the most original creators in the community, not just in creativity, but also in age. He was one of the OG people. His old videos are still undoubtedly revered today, and he went from making videos that sent ripples through the community every single time to this. I won't say anything further on what I feel the meaning of showing you this is. I'll let you draw your own conclusions of what I think this represents. The only thing I'll finish up by saying is, once again, I'm not hating on anybody. I'm not throwing shade on anybody. But it's really interesting how the change in League of Legends and Riot Games' focus and their philosophy on game design has forced pretty much all of its older creators either out of the community, or it's forced them to conform to this try-hard, cookie-cutter, PG-13, every video is the same bullshit for fear of not having a place in the community anymore. As for the League community, I don't really think we'll ever pull back to that simpler time where the golden age was reigning supreme, but maybe there's still hope. Maybe some of the best content creators in the game will pull out some absolute bangers and stun the world with how good the videos still are for this game. Or maybe, just maybe, if you have an idea for something funny that you want to make a video on, maybe it could be you.